Hi guys, so in this quick video what I would like to talk about is eliminating toxic patterns in your relationship. So many people are in relationships where they have a pattern of behaviour, and what that can lead to is quite negative and damaging patterns where the two of you are going back and forth, where there's certain cycles where one of you makes ultimatums, that sort of thing, and it doesn't ever lead to a resolution because you're both stuck in this pattern of behaving. And what I'm going to talk about is some of the patterns that are quite common, and then I'm going to give you some solutions on fixing them. The first one is making threats or ultimatums and not following through. So whenever you are in a relationship and you continuously make threats to the person and say, if you do this one more time I'm leaving, or you're not good for me anyway, and I've thought about cheating, or I've thought about leaving, and I'm going to do it now because I've had enough of you, but you never follow through. What that does to that person is you put them in a position where they're constantly on edge. Someone can't invest in you and in the relationship if you are continuously 1 foot out the door and you're making ultimatums. So the solution to this one is to just stop making the threats and the ultimatums. If you feel really strongly that you're not happy and that you would like things to change, be an adult and communicate that. Say to your partner, I'm really sick and tired of how we argue with each other. I'm really sick and tired of, the fact there's no intimacy. I'm sick of you going off and making phone calls secretly. It makes me feel this way. And then try and work on a solution. But if you're going to make an ultimatum and you are quite clear that that's what you want, then you need to follow through. There's no point, because also it makes you weaker as well, because the person's heard it over and over again, so they're going to say, well, she uses this all the time, but she never follows through. The second one is hitting below the belt. This is where people consciously, and they're aware of this, but they continuously say things that they can't take back. I've spoke about this in a number of my videos, but when you do this too often, the only thing that happens is those arrows keep digging into the person. Each time you shoot the arrow and you say something really nasty, they don't forget it. Now, I've been in situations in my relationships where someone has said something, and although we've made up, I can't forget what they've said, and then it makes you act differently or feel differently about yourself, feel differently about the relationship. It doesn't go away. So the key there is to either, after you've said something that you regret, apologise, explain why you said it, acknowledge that it wasn't right for you to say it, and make a promise that you will never go to that level again. If you feel like you're going to, it's better to walk away. The third one is constant criticism. Just constantly criticising someone is always going to lead them to have resentment towards you, whether it's a parent doing it to a child, whether it's you doing it to a partner, whoever you're doing it to. Criticism, if it's constructive, is one thing, but if you're just nagging or criticising someone continuously, they're going to get to a point where they stop hearing you, or where they have resentment towards you, and it just becomes a pattern then where they just think, no matter what I do, I can't do anything right. She's always moaning, or he's always complaining. It can lead to people considering having affairs. It can lead to people feeling low about themselves. It means they're not going to interact with you on that loving level that they could, because you're always criticising them. Being inconsistent, so your partner doesn't know where you stand, because 1 minute you're fine, you're having a laugh, the next minute you're ignoring them, or you're just being horrible out of the blue. If someone can't work someone out, then they don't want to be around them. Eventually that person is going to say, do you know what, I want to be around a person who makes me feel good. We all have a choice. We can be single or we can enter into a relationship. If we enter into a relationship, it's usually because we want the warmth, we want the joy of being in a relationship. We don't want, someone who's going to be up and down, and we've got to try and work them out. It's too much effort, so people are just going to end up leaving. And the fifth one is seeking attention outside of the relationship. This is a toxic pattern because, as I've said, if you're an adult and you are in a relationship, the aim should always be to communicate how you're feeling before you decide to go and take action externally and say it's your fault because you never talk to me, it's your fault because you don't have sex with me, it's your fault because of this or that reason. It's no one's fault except your own. So the key is, with all of these things really is to consider what the impact is it's having on the relationship, consider the impact it's having on your partner, consider what the agenda, what is the end game. If you know that you're constantly making threats but you don't do anything about it, you're constantly seeking attention from other people, it's only going to go in one direction. So what you should be thinking about is, how can I make this relationship better? Is there things that I can do? Are there things that my partner can do? Are there things we can do as a couple? You know, if that is your ultimate aim, to have a better relationship, then, you know, hitting below the belt isn't going to work, you know, because it's going to leave wounds. Constant criticism isn't going to work because you're not going to get what you want ultimately. So just consider what you can do and what you can do together as a couple. You know, that is the simplest way to put it, really. So I hope you found this video useful. Please feel free to like, to leave any comments, to share and to subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. Take care. Bye.